Good morning, Central Texas. Welcome to KISS Community Connections at My KISS 1031. I'm Phyllis Jones, your host. And guess what? We're going to have some fun this morning. And what I mean by fun is time to learn, time for us to teach. You know, every now and then, as people know me, I'm the community person. I call myself a community facilitator because I do facilitate a whole bunch of things in the community. Mm-hmm. And I am community bound because I believe that we are here for a purpose of serving. And if you don't serve, then you need to go in the village. No, actually, you need to go in the forest and just sit there. And just sit. That's my thought. It's Phyllis's thought. So if you're not giving back to your community, just go out there and sit.
Just go sit.
Just go sit. Yeah, just sit. Whatever happens, happens because you're not about your community. Because you're no longer needed. You're useless if you're not serving. Because we're here for serve. We're here to serve. And we're here to give. And like I said, giving back to our community makes our community strong. And if you're not giving back to the community, then you don't have a right to complain. I'm just saying. If you're not working there, you're not serving to bring it up, then don't complain. You know, I'm going to say like we should not say to children, shut up. Just straight up. We can't say that to kids, but I can say it to you. But I'm saying that because I know what I am. I know who I am. I know what I do. And I have faith in myself to know that whatever I put my mind to do, I can do it. But anyway, you know, with my can-do spirit, a couple of years ago, I began a vengeance against domestic violence. You know, I was all in. And no, I've never been a part of domestic violence, and I've always used to think about, do women of domestic violence wear a sign? I did. I used to wonder why I never met one of those men so I could knock him out. So I wanted to know why I never met them because, you know, I just wonder, you know, black in their eye, wait till they go to sleep, grits on them, you know, all those things. But anyway, Lolita sitting there saying this woman is nuts.
I'm like, oh my goodness.
So I used to wonder, I used to wonder, what did a woman who got abused project? And we didn't. I mean, until this day, I still at the same question. I don't know, because I'm not saying you deserve it, because no one ever deserves it. Mm-hmm. But I just want to know, what is that trait that's missing in them that some of us have, so that guy knows I can hit her, but I can't hit her. And that's my thing. But anyway, I went on a tangent on it. And during my tangent and wanting to know information and inviting people on the show, I decided everybody was doing walks. Okay. Phyllis will work. I will work out for 2 hours. I would dance for 2 hours. I'm not walking nowhere. Now, actually, can I walk? Yeah, of can I work out? But I'm not walking nowhere. And if people do walks for different events, and I you know, applaud them for doing walks. But to me, doing a walk, I go home and sit down, and that's it. That's it. I didn't get nothing out of the walk. I got a T-shirt that I'm not going to wear no more. I'm going to give away. So I got nothing out of a walk. So if I get nothing out of a walk, I'm assuming there are other people like me who don't either. So I decided to have a funeral for domestic violence. Mm-hmm. Yes, people thought I had lost my mind. Lolita, I know she thought I lost my mind, because they was like, what is she talking about? And that's how I met Lolita Gilmore, and I'm glad that we met. And yes, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, she thought I was crazy, and don't feel bad. A lot of people thought I was crazy. But my analogy was, to get rid of something, you must kill it. Mm-hmm. And to kill it, you have to bury it. And when you bury something, it's supposed to be helpfully to go away. That was my thought process behind it. And after I explained to people what my brain was saying, they kind of still like, oh, you look crazy, but it's okay. You know. So I started going to her groups. Lolita at that time was having groups about talking to women about domestic violence. And I went because I wanted to hear them. I wasn't going to be, oh my God, I wanted to hear them, because still doing this event, I needed to be having some kind of knowledge of other than what I read. Because if I'm reading something, I'm not getting the gist. I'm getting some words that somebody put on paper. So I'm not getting the gist. I don't feel it. That's not it. I got to hear somebody. You know, so I went to a couple of meetings, and I was like, oh man, wait a minute, hold up. You know, I'm thinking, really, you know, I'm just like, I'm blown away. Anyway, Lolita ended up, she thought I was crazy, but she helped me with my domestic violence funeral. And I want to thank her for helping me out, because she did the repass. And what she also learned about backwards Phyllis is, I didn't know what a repass was. I had no clue. I didn't even know how a funeral went. I did it, and some friends helped me put it in order, because it was out of order. Because I've never been to one. I grew up in a family that don't believe in funerals, so I've never been to one. Don't know nothing about anything, but I did this funeral because I knew it needed to be done. Anyway, so my journey with Lolita started with domestic violence, and then she started talking about other things that she was doing. And our paths kept meeting. Our paths never strayed away. Our paths kept meeting, and we're going in the same direction. It was just that we were going in the same direction separately. And it wasn't separately because we were separate. It was just that our minds were clicking at the same time, but we just were too lazy to pick up the phone. I put it that way. We were too lazy to pick up the phone to say what you're doing, because oftentimes we've been fighting the same battle, but we've been fighting the same battle separately, which a lot of times is good. It is good because a lot of times she might do it her way, and she's going to reach a segment of people. I'll do it my way, and I'll reach a different segment of people. And then together, we got all the people at one time. Because as we know, like I said, there are people who like to do the walks, and then there will be me who would do the event. Well, some people enjoy the walks, and they should. And some people enjoy the event part, and they should. So we're not working sometimes separately is good because you reach all the people you need to reach. As long as you all know the trail that you're going toward is one thing. So me and Lolita have been going on the trail for the same thing. It was just that we didn't, like I said, we're too lazy to pick up the phone. And that's because I keep up with what she's doing. She keep up with what I'm doing. Isn't that something?
That's amazing, right?
we keep up with what we're doing. A lot of times we end up at the same meetings. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. So, I won't say it's not by accident that we keep doing this. It isn't by accident.
It's not.
It's the purpose to the reason that we're doing it. And there's a reason behind it. And we're not neglectful of the reason behind it. We know what's going on. We know what we're supposed to do. And we know why we're here and addressed to do it. Right. And I'm glad that we're two African American women. I'm saying that really loudly. That first of all, who know how to step out on faith, and it's faith twice, because along with having faith in the powers that be, to whomever you believe in, having that faith, and also you have to have faith in yourself.
Got to,
because you got to have that faith of I can do it, and I don't care what you say. I can do this, and I don't care what you think. I'm gonna do this if I got to do it by myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes we find ourselves a committee of the all-powerful one. And guess what? So, okay. I mean, because, I'm like, you don't believe what and you don't, gotcha. I don't care. I do it myself. And guess what? I do it myself and I don't complain.
Right.
That's another part. We don't complain. If I got to do it by myself, that's fine. And if the leader got to do it by, she fine. Because you know what? Because we have faith in the two, that we can do what we're going to do, and we know we're doing what the community needs. My only thing is, what happened to the men's abuse organizations? Are they still being men? Men, macho men? Did they fall off?
So you got jokes.
I'm not saying, they being macho.
Because it happens.
Yeah.
It happens
to men.
And so when we start looking at statistics,
right,
we know that 1 out of 4 women report it.
Right.
And only 1 out of 7 men are going to report. Now statistics will show us maybe 1 out of 9. So you see that large disparity there.
Right.
So with it not being reported on a norm, you'll find that there are not a whole lot of resources.
Right.
Because then when we look at the number of women, because men have been, for lack of a better word, they've been designated as the aggressor, or the abuser. Right. But it's only because of statistics. Yeah. Because the gender that's mostly abused, women and children. So with that being said, Dallas has an awesome program.
Wow.
For men. And it's men's shelter, domestic violence shelter, because guess what? You have women who are just aggressive.
Yes, you do.
And so, especially when we look at military, we look at our, armed forces and things like that. And what we'll find is when that individual has to leave, if the wife or girlfriend decides that she's not going to leave the house and he has to leave, oftentimes, if he leaves, he has nowhere to take the children. So what they did in Dallas, they have a program that, if he wants to come out of there and he's in a transition right now where he needs to get on his feet and establish the same thing we do at T3L for our women and children, they do the same thing up in Dallas for men and their children. Wow. Because it happens. Because what we're looking at is the dynamics that we're dealing with.
Right.
And then the dynamics, they're not based on gender. You know,
right.
They're based on power and control. They're based on, like you were saying earlier, why are men drawn to certain women? And it's not that they're drawn to certain women. What it is, once the female changes her mindset, you know, because we start talking about spiritual, that things attract, you know, opposites attract and this and that and all that. But what it is that you will have, depends on your normal. And if your normal is that I grew up in a home where abuse is the norm, I was accustomed to being called all kind of names and this and that. So if I come and I meet Steve, and Steve is a really nice guy, but Steve is boring because Steve is not my norm. So I go out here and get me a roughneck, and I'm enjoying it until the situation gets rough. You know, and so that is what it is. They've normalized the behavior. You were never in that predicament. Right. You know, that was never your norm. Right. And for those of us that were in the predicament, it was not our norm, and that's why we're not in it anymore. It's like, wait a minute, you have bumped your head. And so, but for those that are a little more weaker, and I say weak in a sense is that they don't know where to go. Right. They don't know who to talk to. And then they've been depleted of all their resources because, you know, if the person has the power, we're talking about power and control, well, that oftentimes that individual has the job. Right. They have all the money. They have all the resources. They have all the insurance. We had one young lady the other day. She said, I can't go to dental because he won't allow me to use the insurance. And I was like, you just go up there and give a number. She said, yeah, but when he gets that, that's just going to be another situation because she had a toothache. She needed a wisdom teeth pulled. So all that being said, that's just how deep, you know, that runs. And so if we got to get the kid or not going to pay the copay, you know, things like that. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, we get a job. Well, if I have to come in and I have to account for every penny that I have, what do you mean you're putting money over here? And this situation, this man worked as a GS-14, was working as a GS-14. So it's not like money is an issue. Right. It was just a matter of control, power and control. So yes, man. So when we look at that, and so she's telling me, she's like, which way do I go? Because if he ever picks up the kids, and this is another mindset, that the courts are going to be on his side because he can provide more. Right. And so things really haven't changed. We go back and we look at the women's suffrage and all of this, and we see things have changed, but not totally. No. You know, not completely. So we still have a long ways to go.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So what's the name of your, and good morning.
Good morning. The name of our organization is Teach Them to Love Outreach Ministries. And so now what we're here talking about today is we're having our first community barbecue and fundraiser. And so what we did, you know, we used to be in one location, but we're in the heart of downtown now. And so what we're looking at doing is having a community event. And I'm going to tell you the inspiration about 2 weeks ago. And I've seen everything you've been doing with the homeless community and the coalition and getting things together. And I was like, that is an awesome opportunity because we know we wanted to do something with the close out for summer. We just hadn't quite figured out what. Right. So when we were looking down there and everybody else sitting at their tables, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm looking around. I said, you know what? This is a great idea. This is a great idea because instead of going around and asking everybody, why don't we make it a community event? Right. And so with that, so thank you for that great idea.
But you know where the idea came from?
Where's that?
Okay. I'm a child of the late 60s and the 70s. And I'm from Detroit.
Okay.
And we always had informational block parties back then. And at those, we had information, we had food, we had music, we had games. We put it all together to make it a family event other than just this is only for you and you. Yeah. So I decided to go back, you know, using our African heritage of Sankofa, go back and teach.
Go back and teach.
So I went back to bring back something that we used to do to see if I wanted to first of all see if it would work. Okay, now I know it past worked because we saw over 300 people in that short a time, and I only took 2 weeks to plan this. Everybody needed only was 2 weeks, so I reached, and I'm glad you're doing it too because what I learned from that is taking something from the past and bringing it forward, everybody responded.
Exactly. So I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us, for people to get out and understand who we are.
Yeah.
Because so many, and I don't know why this is, but so many organizations, and especially nonprofits, they want to work in a silo.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, I don't know if it's about funding, but it can't, because it has to be about community. And once we miss that, like we were talking about the other day, you have to be able to teach people.
Yes.
They need to walk away with something besides a T-shirt. Nothing wrong with the T-shirt. Nothing wrong with the water bottle. I'm all for that.
Right.
But they need to walk away with a message, and they need to walk away with resources.
Yes.
And so when they come back to those resources after they've been long and gone, the hot dog, the barbecue, the music is gone. Now I have an issue. Who do I turn to?
Right.
You know, who can I reach out to? So that's what's important. That's why we're looking for vendors to come out with this event as well. And so we say an item for a plate. You bring an item. And I say new items because I know. Everybody got to hustle. I don't want you to come up there with an open roll of toilet tissue and give me a plate. That's why we say everything has to be packaged.
Because you know.
We know. The hustle is real. The struggle is real.
Somebody come out with a toothbrush here.
And here. You're like, you just used that.
I washed it.
I washed it though. Okay. Hot water. So we know what we're dealing with, and it's all good. So what we're saying is we're collecting items, and this is for our new safe house. And so in order to get these items done, we're community. And so we're reaching out to the community and saying, hey, we need help in this area. But while we're getting help, we're also giving back, because now we have, we're going to have the barbecue. We're going to have the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the chips, the salads, and all of that. And so it'll be a plate for an item. Bring your children. Come out, bring your canopies. It's going to be at Lone Branch. It's going to be right there at the splash part.
Right.
And so I said, well, it's a free community event. Only thing it costs you is a packaged roll of toilet paper. You can either go to, you can get one as long as it's brand new. You know, whatever toiletry item, whatever bedding, anything like that, because we're always running out of sheets, pillows, blankets. It's a shelter.
There you go.
And so for our life, we said Life Center, and the Life Center piece is that we just can't house you.
Yes.
You know, we have to get you to that place where, and I say have to because it's imperative, that it doesn't become a revolving door, so to speak.
Right.
You know, and so you just go out for a few days, you come back in. No, what we need to do is put a plan in place, put a system in place where if Phyllis comes in, Phyllis walks out and she has some level of autonomy.
Right.
You know, so that is where our program differs from many. And so we see now the population that we're dealing with, and this just happened. I say happenstance, but nothing is coincidental. We know everything is already framed.
Right.
Okay. And so when we get that, the population that we're dealing with now, those that are aging out of the system.
Yes.
And they're aging out of the system and have absolutely nowhere to go.
Right.
And why are they in the system? It's because of domestic violence.
Right.
And so it became a cycle, a vicious cycle for them. And now they get to the end and people say, well, they should have just stayed in the system, stayed in extended care. Well, after you've been moved around from place to place, home to home, when you hit that magic number, 1-8,
Right. Yes.
I'm out of here.
Yes.
But then we realize how cruel the world really is. It's like, I got to come back in here because I need some stability. Right. So that population is suffering right about now, and they're on the streets, and we've opened our doors to them as well. And because I don't care what population you say you serve, it is hard to have some young person call on the phone and say, because we're referral based.
Yes.
And so she said, now this is their idea of referral based. My friend said that you could help me.
That's the referral.
Yeah, that's a referral. And I was like, well, we were talking about like an agency. Well, I don't have an agency.
That's
It just got me.
You said referral.
So, referral. So yeah, we're going to have to be a little bit, I'm going to be clear on that. But so that piece is gone, and we've become that open door, so to speak. So when they're trying to find that transition spot, because not everybody see what CPS, and I know they're like, wait a minute, I thought we were talking about domestic violence. I thought we were talking about shelter. I thought we were talking about women and children. Right. How we get to this population? Because see, if we don't catch them right here, Phyllis, this is why we continue to see what we see because we forgot about that population.
And see, that's why I was telling you. I'm on the Bell County Child Welfare Board. Actually, I'm the secretary. We take care of kids that are in foster care and kinship care. We take care of them, but we're learning that we need to also re-strategize. Brief and not let all these other kids fall off.
And that's what's happening.
What I mean? We've got to do that. And I said I wasn't gonna step on anybody's toes today.
Go ahead, step on.
Okay,
step
I just
on.
lied. I'm gonna step on your toes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We got too many organizations in our city and in our Central Texas area that say what they all about, but I never see them.
Oh,
I never see them. I hear what they all about. I see them doing their thing, but I don't see them doing the community thing.
We forget about the community.
Because I'm going to tell you what I did. I'm not going to mention the name of the group. I am not, and as nice as I am and as helpful as I am, I can also be that other person.
That helpful piece, I got you. But the nice piece, go ahead.
But no, I can be nice, but also I can be what's nicey.
Nicey. Yes, ma'am.
And when I did the block party, 2 groups showed up and asked me could they pass out flyers. I nicely said no.
Okay.
Because what I said is this. I told everybody this was an informational block party. I didn't turn anybody away that had information to pass out to better people.
Right.
I did not.
Right.
I mean, I had people pull up and they just said, Phyllis, I knew you was giving us. I got information. I don't want you to talk about me later, so I'm here. I was like, okay. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Because people know me and how I am. But I had 2 groups. Well, can I pass out information? No.
Oh.
I said no. But you let some kids through here. I said, you know what? I said, I will break rules for a child.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I said, yes, some kid groups, they were passing on their little stuff. I said, but they also went over there to the table and started working.
Yeah,
I said, before a child, I'll break the rule because it's my chance to teach them. It's my chance to say, yes, I'm going to let you do it today. But the next time you want to do something, call me.
Right.
I said, because that's that teachable moment that I'm not going to lose with a child.
Exactly.
I said, but with an adult, if you read the flyer and knew I was doing it and you didn't call me and you want to pass out stuff and walk through, go get your own event, pass out your own darn flyers, and walk through.
So work it out.
But at this one, you're going to leave because one thing's going to happen. I'm going to help you leave. And yes, I'll help you leave.
All right.
Because I got to teach you a lesson too. Just like I got to teach that child a lesson, I got to teach you too. Follow the rules.
Okay.
Follow the rules. But all these organizations, we shouldn't have any kids in that situation.
We shouldn't.
We should not. We have too many groups and organizations who listen to the show. So I want you to hear me and I don't see you. Because, I go to a whole bunch of events. And while I'm there enjoying the event and supporting the event, I'm also looking for people that belong to organizations to see if I see them. So that when they tell me what they're doing, I can say, I never saw you. So they tell me what a community events they get. I never saw you.
Never saw. Oh, wow.
And I'll say this: I see all these groups doing back to school events, and that's fine.
But can we get some backpacks?
No, not forget that part.
Oh, forget that. Okay, I'm sorry.
What happened after the backpacks?
Well, that too.
You know what I'm saying is,
I got you.
If you're gonna get backpacks, I'm fine. Good, give backpacks. These saying, oh yeah, I did backpacks once a year. But what about the child who's getting your backpack?
Yeah.
Are we gearing anything toward that child we're giving a backpack to? Are we holding the session for the kids who are receiving backpacks but need 2 more steps? And the 2 steps would be you assist them, but we give away backpacks. Right. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And I'm so glad you hit on that because, we started talking about systemic issues. And so that backpack, I'm glad you brought that up because that's powerful because that's about the same thing like the walk.
Right.
They get the backpack, they walk away, they go to school. What are the resources? So are we putting a list of resources? Do we have case management? Do we have somebody out there taking the family's name, their information? Are you interested in certain programs? See, and I think this is where if we can get to that place where we begin to do that, because that young mother, and you see it all the time. You got a mother of 3, 4, 5. Right. The other day I had a mother of 6. And she said, I need to come. And unfortunately, I did not have that type of space.
Correct.
To help her. But we didn't turn her away. What we did, we got on the horn and we began to find places that could assist. Unfortunately, the only places that are able to assist with our larger families are in Austin.
Yes.
Bastrop. Waco. So we have a lot of work to do here in the Central Texas, especially in the Killeen area. Yeah. So that is another reason I'm very glad we've come together again, because what happened, the reason we had to go separately, because I had to do my research. I had to find out what was going on, put my ear to the ground and say, oh my God. And case in point, you did your funeral. We did the funeral.
Yes.
I started doing the Shades of Purple.
Okay.
Now we have the DV conference, the DV/mental health conference. Now, this is how, and y'all shouldn't even know anything about this.
I sure did. This is,
wow. All right.
Wow.
So, I'm looking at this. And so now I'm looking at, we have the DV mental health conference, and I want you guys to be a significant part of that, intricate role in that. That's on the 18th of October. Right after that, well, not right after, but in March, we have the Shades of Purple. Well, Shades of Purple is what we, the overcomer, and what we celebrate the overcomer, and everything, true overcomers, everything they've done. We have this huge gala event. But now what we need to do is bring back, we need to bury this. We want to celebrate. So now we need to bring back the funeral.
Yes. Okay.
And have it, maybe it could be the same weekend or the week prior.
Not a problem.
And so we do that. So now we have a procession, we bury it, we do what we got to do, and let people know we've put a death to this. But after we bury this, and I know everybody serve their own God, but I love it when I say, because after it's been buried, then we show you how you resurrect, what the resurrection looks like. And that's the Shades of Purple. So that's my little download for the morning. So I just wanted to pitch that
hey,
ticket. We pitched it over there.
That's okay. That's okay. You know what? That's okay, because we're all about the community.
And so we're all about the community.
We're all about the community.
So I think that would be how we see this. And that happened when we first got started. 2015? I think it was 2015.
Yeah, like
and so here we are now. And so, okay, we got these three entities. How can this work together? And it's going to work together, because when you look at that, that's what we have to do. We have to put a system in place to say, listen, this needs to be out. This needs to be eradicated. We need to bury this. So that, and I was, there's a lot of things we've looked at and said, you know what? Now we see how all this comes together.
Right.
So yes, ma'am. So I thank you, Miss Phyllis. I thank you for what you're doing and allowing me to come on this morning.
Always.
Talk about, the our community outreach. Talk about our cookout. And y'all, when you come out, if you got pennies, if you don't want to bring an item, bring you, just put all your change in a little Ziploc bag, because this is where we're doing our penny drive. So we're not one of those agencies that says, we want everybody to give us $2,000. No. We got enough sense to know everybody has change laying around. You have change sitting in your car. You got change sitting in your living room, in your desk drawer, whatever.
The bottom of your purse.
The bottom of your purse.
To make it weigh more.
Okay. So we have, that y'all can't see, but we have our little containers. And for those who would like, we will bring it to your location, put the container out, because what we're saying, we can drive out domestic violence 1 penny at a time.
Exactly. We can.
We can. So that's the drive. That's what we're doing. This is what we're all about. Bring your kids out. Bring their little swimsuits. They're going to have fun. It's the end of the summer.
Do you have entertainment for this day?
Well, we're working with a DJ.
So, okay, because I want to say, if you ask them for some entertainment, I can hook you with someone who
can
help you get some entertainment.
Yes, please.
I'm throwing Kawanda's name out there just like Yes, Kawanda, I threw your name out there.
Come on, Kawanda. Hey, so let's do this, because I really believe that the community, they're going to have a good time. And so got a little flag, because it's like, well, you could do the park over there off Stan Schluter. Okay, we can do that next year. But we have to understand, we have got to get involved in the community and meet the people with their needs. We have to meet them where they are.
Right. And you do. People forget
you
about
have
that.
to, they forget about that.
Yeah.
Well, now you want all these families to uproot off of Rensselaer and the near surrounding locations and come all the way over to Stan Schluter when there's a park right there.
Exactly.
In their neighborhood, and they can come out and celebrate and have fun with their kids. So y'all, the vendors, y'all come out. You got extra backpacks, bring those out. Okay. So we're really, like I said, end of summer. I know school has just started that week, and I just see an opportunity to, while we're collecting, we're also there to have a good time.
Can I throw something on your...
Please do.
Okay, and it's hilarious, but it's serious at the same time.
Okay.
And, Phyllis can say it, Lolita's too nice. On here it says, bring your swimsuits. Let's say something. Just because that swimsuit is your size don't mean you need to wear it. So I want you to be careful about that. And we don't need no extra flesh showing.
No, this is a family event.
Remember, it's family. So, the half cheek bathing suit, if you don't have the rest of the cheek covered up, don't wear the bathing suit, okay? Because it's not a fashion show. So just remember, if just because it's in your size, don't mean you're supposed to wear it. Because we know what that means. Lolita over here crying. Joe was like, no, she didn't say that. And, the half-cheek bathing suits, we know what they look like. Make sure that, we don't want kids growing up, girls growing up thinking that that's the bathing suit she needs to wear. So make sure your entire cheek is covered up. I'm just saying. I know my folks. We know, and everybody's mindset is differently on when you say bathing suits. Everybody's mindset is different. So I'm just saying, remember those two pieces. Remember that. If you're
that's key.
If you're size 20, don't come in there with a size 14 bathing suit.